I'm a little nervy. I'm gonna be so for real. Welcome. I'm gonna try not to scare anyone for the first like 20 seconds of this video. Like, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my real stalker story, not clickbait at all. I wish this was clickbait. I wish this didn't happen, but you know what? Now it's gonna be good content, but it's pretty intense. I'm gonna be so honest. I'm not trying to like hype this up, but it's like I had to get like approval from not the people in the story, but some people that are helping me through this situation right now. Welcome, friends, to my new channel. I can't believe I'm saying that. And today I'm doing an intense story time that I've been thinking about filming, but for my original channel, Colina Juanes, the audience, the kids wouldn't get it. It's a little too intense, but this is a family-friendly channel. This is just more personal, you know what I mean? So we can really get close and personal. I can't believe I'm telling this story. My real stalker story time. I'm actually going to film it. I need a sip of my Powerade. Let me just show you guys, like, I cannot miss a detail about this story because this story is actually insanity. Like, my friend who works with me wrote this out for me. This is literally the order of the whole story. So I don't miss a detail. This is probably gonna be a 2-part series because I possibly cannot fit this whole story because this is like a year-long story. Let me tell you, I'm still dealing with it right now. And then I'll do a part 2 and potentially probably a part 3 if I don't figure this out. I'm not going to say any of the real names. I'm gonna keep that sacred because this is a real thing that's still going on. So for my safety reasons and some of the people in this story time, I'm not gonna share the names. So we're just gonna make up names. The year was 2022 and my family and I decide to go on a cruise ship. My parents literally live to cruise, like live, eat, sleep cruises. We were not expecting these events to play out on this cruise. So anyway, huge family reunion. I'm saying my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, me, grandma, grandpa, cousins. My family, like I said, are obsessed with cruises at the point where my dad literally has like, I don't even know how to say this. This sounds crazy. My dad brings costumes for karaoke. Like, he takes this stuff so seriously. My parents have to be like the main attraction of the cruise. My dad has like jumpsuits for each cruise line, like a carnival jumpsuit, like customized. We get on this ship, you know, we're just, wait, that's totally gonna like, my paper is going to spoil the story.
You saw nothing.
Anyway, it's a chill day, you know what I mean? Like bingo, water slide, bingo, it's literally the same. It's just that type of stuff. And then it's nighttime. It's the first night of the cruise, which means my family are ready to rumble at karaoke and they're about to make a scene. So we roll up to karaoke. Mind you, nobody is at karaoke except my family. So we're basically just doing like a family entertainment thing. My dad is singing an Elvis Presley song in his Elvis Presley costume. Everything was good until a bald guy walks up to us. Stalker Guy. Let me just explain to you what he looks like. We're gonna call Stalker Guy Scooter. He's bald. That, number one. He's in his late 40s. Nothing against bald people, you know what I mean? But specifically this guy, he owns a business where he throws these huge like festival parties around the country. That's all I'm gonna say. So then Scooter, aka bald guy, sits down next to my family. So, you know, this is chill, you know, new friend, hey! And it's not just him, it's his whole squad. Like, this is a chaperone of like 18 of them. My dad is going so extreme, by the way. You know, he's like grabbing people, dancing with them, singing. So like everyone, it's interactive. It's a little interactive karaoke night. And you know, Scooter and I had a really good conversation. Scooter was just kind of talking about his company and I was telling him how I do social media. And we were having like an extremely professional business talk. I wasn't thinking anything of it. Honestly, I was like, this is sick. You know, you're cool. So day one, it was decent. It was fine. Nothing suspicious. Day 2 comes along. Same as day 1, you know what I mean? Hitting bingo, water slides, miniature golf, buffet, like 5 times. And then it's dinner time, and then that time comes again. It's karaoke, baby. And you know, now my dad and I are singing a song. We're really getting into it. And who do you see come along? Scooter and his chaperone. They pull up. This time, you know, they're a little diggity. They're a little lit. And they come up and they're dancing with us. They're, you know, singing along. Like, they're just having a blast. And you know what? I was like, that's right, yeah, tonight's gonna be a good night. Let's go crazy. Until he I don't even know how to explain this. He's like really digging into this conversation with me, like a little bit more than usual. Like he was extremely interested in what I do. I'm filming the cruise, so I'm like kind of filming everyone and I'm filming myself, whatever the heck. And he sees me filming and he's just like really interested in, you know, my filming life. And I'm like, okay, you know, I'm a content creator. And I was like, okay, does he want like a professional like brand deal? Like what's going on here? This is when I started to get a little sussed out, I guess.
That's suspicious.
He's also extremely close to my parents, like at this point. Like he's just having conversation after conversation with my mother and my padre. And I was like, okay, it's fine. And then we decided to go to the magic show. It's super duper late at night and Scooter has a grand plan of splitting up kind of in groups. He doesn't really say this, but it's just like, it's obvious what's going on because like this group is going that way. Scooter, my family and I, like, okay, you know what? No, it's my family and I. Scooter just starts following us. And I feel like my parents and I were kind of in a different mindset because I was kind of sus by night 2, but my parents trusted him, loved him. Like, and I was like, you know what? That's chill because it's only night 2. Like, I'm not gonna judge him on just these little things. You know what I mean? Like, he could be amazing. You know what I mean? So I thought. So now it's day 3, same schedule as always, buffet, bingo, and now it's time for karaoke. Now, by this point, I'm already like, okay, I know they're gonna show up. Scooter and his squad are gonna show up to karaoke. Once again, extremely interested in my business, a little bit more than usual, like a little bit more than business professional would be interested. And now he wants to know everything about my life. I don't want to say this is the first part. I should have obviously known this was going to go down the wrong path in the beginning, but this is when it really started to hit that, maybe I should question being friends with Scooter. My family and I are like, all right, Scooter and friends, we are going to go to the magic show as a family. And you know, that's usually when you would separate and be like, it was so nice hanging out with you guys. Scooter goes, all right, guys, I'm gonna go with them. What? Honestly, it's a little sus because it honestly looked like I was dating him because it's my family and then this guy. And by the way, Scooter isn't like talking with my parents. Scooter's just talking to me. We're walking, he's talking to me. We're sitting down watching the magic show, he's talking to me. And I'm just kind of like, but my parents were having a blast. I don't understand how they didn't like pick this up. Day 4, day 5, and day 6, same thing. It's night 6. Tomorrow we're getting off the ship, day 7. So I don't know. I wasn't thinking that it would be a big deal that like goodbye Scooter and entourage, you know what I mean? Also his entourage, they were nice. They were sweet. You know what? I have nothing to say about them. I'm not gonna. What? Bro. No. Bro, oh my god. Guys, I don't know. I'm literally gonna pee my pants. Scream, throw up. I don't know if you just noticed, but like over here, you can't see it, but the passenger door just opened. It just opened. And I literally was like, is that Scooter? What the heck is going on? We're just gonna ignore that if it happened. That was weird. Anyway, I didn't think this was gonna be a huge deal saying bye to Scooter. We obviously show up to the last night of karaoke. We're taking tonight serious, baby. Last night of the cruise, karaoke. You know, dad's got his costume, props. I'll be honest, I had like a whole planned outfit for the last night with my sister. We were matching. Scooter rolls up into the karaoke room without the entourage. This is the first time he has rolled up without the entourage. We've always, like, the past 3 nights on the cruise, he leaves the entourage and he'll just kind of like, you know, walk along with us and whatever, do things at night with us, but like without the entourage. But he usually starts with the entourage. And I'm like, okay, here comes Scooter. He sits with us and we're like, dang man, like, you know, it was such a good trip. Whatever, my parents are just like, you're awesome, you're the bomb, had a blast. And I'm just like, you know, I wanted to end it on a good note. I want to end it on a good, sweet note, and I wanted to just like assume I was the crazy one, you know what I mean? And just be like, I'm just gonna ignore that. So, you know, he says his goodbyes to everyone. And then when it comes to me, he's like extremely emotional. You could tell the man was getting emotional. He was like tearing up. Like you could tell this was hard for him. This was a hard departure. Questionable.
That's weird.
Once again, I thought this was just like a professional friendship, whatever, you do business, I do business, maybe we could collab. But he was obviously touched by saying goodbye. So the week is over. The family reunion cruise featuring Scooter is over. You know, I fly back to LA, my parents go back to Florida, and then a week later, I get a text from Scooter. I'm sure I gave him my number like in the beginning for like business reasons. I genuinely do not remember though, but I probably did. I also get a follow from Scooter on all of my platforms. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna think anything of it. You know what I mean? If anything, we might do something in the future for business. Kind of just like, hello, dark. Also, the way he was texting me was like insanely poetic, like insanity. Okay, I will say this. Future boyfriend, I want him to text me like this. But not the way that Scooter's text. Like, I do not want it to be my stalker. I do not want that to happen. Okay, no, this is a really serious matter. But side note, I would love my boyfriend to be poetic. He was like, my sweet diamond in the rush, sparkle princess, daisy flower. Let's get on a call for business. I shouldn't have gotten on a call, but I did. Because once again, I was like, yo, it would be sick to do business with this guy. And I think also I was a little in denial by this point. I think after that week of like no contact from Scooter, I was kind of like, you know what? Maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe he's just like a super duper nice guy. Anyway, so I'm like, okay, fine, we'll get on a call. In that text, he's also like, I would love to get on a business call. I want to talk about a business opportunity for you and your family. You know what? Let me just hear what the man has to say. I get on the phone with this guy. Normal call! Normal! So now I'm just like, am I crazy for thinking all of this? So the call went well. And now he's just like low-key blowing up my phone with just like business ideas and like these things that sound insanely amazing. Like free trips with your family, you know, we'll blah, 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 blah. Like it sounded sick. And I would just like send him extremely short text, only like entertaining the business stuff. And then this is when it gets a little interesting. 2 weeks have gone by since the cruise and I get a text. This is the moment where like the mic drops, you know what I mean? Like bad. This is when it's the beginning of a true stalker. I get a paragraph. Like 6 paragraphs worth of like love poetic notes. Like, let me just give you an example of what it sounded like. My sweet princess pumpernickel, diamond in the rough, your hair is fluffy like the waves, and you smell like a sentimental rose. Like it was some, I don't even know. It didn't even make sense. Like long paragraphs. And it started with just, you know, that day I got this long one. I looked at it and I was like, what? Like this was a whole on like,
I'm in love with you, Princess Pookie Bear. I'm in love.
This is not going to be a business conversation today, is it? The next day, I get 2 of those insanely long paragraph texts, same type of vibe. Next day, I get 3. Every day is like adding on. Like I think like 4 days later, after receiving the first paragraph of why he's so madly in love with me, he started sending me them like every like 2 hours. Like this man would just blow up my phone. It sounded like a husband talking to his wife, like, and they were in their late like 70s, like they've been married forever. I was trying to ignore it the first 2 days and I was like, I'm just not gonna respond. But like a week later and I'm still getting these texts and like every day there's more and more of them. I was genuinely freaking out. Then he starts like randomly calling me. I never answer. Call randomly. At this point now I'm freaked out. Obviously, like my phone was getting blown up. And I decided to do the smart decision, which I should have done a while ago, and I block him. I block him on Instagram, TikTok, SnapTix, InstaSnap, you name it. I also block him on my messages and I have my parents block him as well. So now it's like I literally cut any tie with this guy because now I'm like, okay, I can't have this happen before because I've had something like this has happened before. Nothing this insanity. And mind you, like this isn't even the insane part of the story. Like this is only part 1. I'm gonna have to film part 2. So now he's officially blocked. It's now been 2 weeks of him being blocked and Scooter is irrespectful. He's not doing anything. Everything's fine. So now like a month goes by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by, 4 months go by, no word from Scooter. So like now I'm chilling. Now I'm like, okay, like that was weird, but you know, we're gonna ignore it. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna move on. You know, something like this would happen to me. Like 8 months go by and oh, this gets me so mad. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let me just sip. Now I am living with my very, very good friend, bestie boo, Rylan, Utah. You might know her if you follow me. She also does social media. We're like 2 peas in a pod. And she gets a DM from a new company, a festival rave party company. She didn't tell me any of this because obviously she was like, oh, okay, like this seems cool. Asking her if she wants to come to this thing. We're gonna pause the story right here because this is when it gets a little intense and I genuinely need to prepare myself. Part 2 coming extremely soon. And guys, it got so real. I have footage. Like, let me know if you guys like this type of content because I've lived through some weird stuff being in LA. Like, especially in this industry of like TikTokers and stuff. Like, the weirdest stuff has happened to me.